It is always so weird to go in the bathroom, you know, like you get ready to do this in the morning, which what time is it? I think it's 4:20. 4:20. Um, but it's what's weird is like when you go in there, you look without this light, with the reflecting the light like that. This is so much darker looking. So it looks like it really blends into the hair so much more. And then I come and put this light on and it's like, I don't know, it's trippy. So, I did a short this morning to show the kitchen counters. I love them so much. It was a lot of work, man. And, yesterday, thank the fucking gods up in the heavens because, Stella was doing better yesterday. So I think she only like winced one time and she's still kind of walking a little, wobbly or, you know, kind of like, limpy, but she's not, she's just doing way better. Usually what I have found, because it used to, when she would get like that, I would panic. I would drive to the emergency vet, go sit in there, do all that stuff, pay, and then they would tell me I need to go to my regular vet. So then I would go there and pay, and it was always the same thing. Well, she's got hip dysplasia and arthritis. It's going to get worse as she ages. And you know, she's just going to be in pain, so deal with it. And then they always want to put her on, well, gabapentin, which there's so much coming out about that now. But they had her on that. I was on that for years too. There's so much coming out about that. And then some kind of anti-inflammatory that damages the liver really bad. Like you have to go in and do liver tests all the time. I was like, so, and then plus they want you to give glucosamine and stuff. So I'm just doing natural stuff. I don't want to damage her liver or make it harder. And now she's been, I don't know, 4 or 5 days of not having the water outside. And she's still, when we went on walks, she's like, wow, where's a puddle? She's desperate to drink the water outside. But, and I keep telling her, stop, no. But all of her cysts are so small now. She had one that it was getting so big, and it was like doubling. I could feel it inside, and it was like 2 right next to each other in one thing. And all of them now are getting smaller, so I know that has to be the toxins in the water that's out there. And then plus, there's more, there's more shit coming with the Pacific Northwest, man. I mean, the worms in our water. My daughter messaged me yesterday, so she's in Yakima, one of the daughters, and she messaged me and said the water smells like chlorine and or bleach or something. Almost like they're poisoning us. And she's like, I know. And it's like, what do you do? Like when she lived with me, we would go to the well and get water, which I'm still doing, but I still have my doubts if that's not being messed with. I mean, North Carolina is under so much snow, and there's still people in tents. I saw a video this morning. Well, lots of people. Like, that was, like, the thing. Lots of people are in campers and tents. This is so fucking hard, man. So hard to watch people be in crises and go through so much stuff that you know they're crying, you know they're overwhelmed. I just feel bad. I saw somebody out walking. I've seen a few. There's quite a few videos of people who are there trying to show still. It's fucking still a disaster zone. But I mean, it's like no improvement. And I guess there's been like a little bit of improvement. Like some people have put in like ways to get around, like made some kind of roads or something to some places. But the one video this morning, she's walking around and she's like showing all of these tags. And she said that everywhere there's a tag is where a dog hit. And the piles are just huge piles of debris. It's all over the place, just like the water washes in, washes the whole fucking town down. And then it just leaves scattered debris and all these giant piles of debris. And they've got tags and stuff. This person's like, yeah, if you want to come and help, just come down here and bring your shovel and start digging through these piles of debris because there's still a lot of missing people. It's like, you're finding bones at this point, probably. And But it just is like, fuck, man. I mean, when you think about it, like, I mean, that could be any of our towns. And they just come in and destroy it and then just leave everybody dead laying around. And you smell them all rotting. And then if you were lucky enough to survive, then you're still in total survival. Like, you're out there, like, fucking, I just can't even. And then they're taking people's kids and stuff, like. And I just know that everybody just needs to abandon that area. They all need to just mass exodus, just move to get, all of them just need to gather up together and just go. And I know, like, nobody can step in. That's the thing. That's the thing with the universe. You can't step in. Even if you try to step in, things are going to go wrong. Unless you are meant to be a part of what's playing out, then you'll just automatically, it will happen. But if you're trying to do something and force it, it won't work. And so it's not like Donald can come in and save the day. And all these people are like, you know, thanks, Conlon, thanks, Joe, for, because there was no assistance. Like, and now the weather is just come in. And it's like, it's so cold here. Just every fucking winter, every motherfucking winter has been hellacious. I just can't even believe we're in another winter. It's just hard to wrap my mind around, especially here, because it's almost like we're just in one long extended winter that is broken up by holidays. And then you just have on these holidays repeat. Like, I can't even believe that everybody's about to put up their Christmas stuff. Like, there's already Christmas lights and stuff. And Thanksgiving's even late this year. And it's just like, fuck, man, everybody just is like on repeat of just like life. And I did look at my daughter's location. Somehow I can see her location, but I don't know if I'm blocked from communication. I don't really know what the deal is. I know that my message, the last two, when I said happy birthday, and then I had sent her the singer with this voice I knew that she would like. And it turned green. It didn't even turn blue. So then it was, it just sits there. And then yesterday, all of the conversation went away except for those. Somehow, all of our conversations are gone except for the last two messages I sent, which I never got a reply. And then, but somehow I can see her, her location, luckily, because then I could see, you know, when she was in Belize or wherever it was, in Vegas, and now it was Seattle. So I looked, and last night she was in Seattle. So I'm sure she went to the concert, and I won't be able to know, like, what was it like, the roads and stuff. My sister said it's still, it's not too bad to get around, but there's still a big mess everywhere and lots of people with no power. So I don't know. I can't imagine it being like a fun trip or something. But it just is weird because I just feel like the world just keeps going, just like this mindless kind of just pursuit of fun or joy or something. And everything just keeps going wrong, but it's like, we're not giving up. You know, we're going to have fun. We're going to do fun things. But it is like, that's the part where the universe is trying to get you to stop and pay attention. And that is like why I said, you know, nobody can come in and rescue these people. It's like the universe is bringing everybody to their knees. And if you haven't been there yet, then, you know, you don't know what it's all about. But when the universe brings you to your knees, it's like the end. It's like a rebirthing. It's like everything changes. And so it's all these people who are going in these crises, it's all the universe is bringing them to their knees. It's that what I call your come to Jesus moment. It's like, you know, there's nobody left. There's nobody there for me. There's nothing. What am I going to do? And it's always, you know, people end up being like, God, please, God, if you're out there, please help me. That's what the universe is trying to get everybody to do, is put their eyes up on the gods. Because it's not just one God up there and all the universe is just sitting there trying to, come on, team, we can get them all to love him. No, it's an energy. It's an energy of, it's not just about that love and acceptance and stuff like that, because, you know, that's there. You know, whether you live it or don't live it, it's up to you. It is, to me, what I see is because of such a waste of time. There's such a waste of how people live. They don't live the right way. They live they live like slaves. So it has to so that is what the universe is trying to put a stop to, so that you get this opportunity, this rebirth, so that you get to go out and live your best life. So you get to make decisions for yourself, choices for yourself. It's just so trippy to see how resistant people are and how desperate they are to hold on to things, and how so much of it is like a lack of God, a lack of trust. And so much of it too, because even our spiritual movement that became the center of all of the bullshit was misleading. It wasn't leading people. I mean, it was leading people to dependency, to try and control things you have no control over, to live in frustration, a hierarchy. You had to go to somebody else because you couldn't figure out how to live your best life. This person's going to tell you how, like all of that kind of stuff. And then all the people that just sit and profit off of spirituality. I'm telling you, I'm not surprised at all when those accounts start falling apart, because that is not how the universe rolls. And it's more of the universe like would appreciate you putting your work out there and doing your work, and then it will bring in your gift, your set accomplishment, your what you're going to receive for it. Not you going around, oh, well, I'm going to charge you $100 for that. That's $1,000. I mean, all that kind of stuff. Well, that's my value. I have worth. But see, that's a part of the development stage, but it's not where you're where you want to lead everybody to. It's like leading everybody to one, you know, like in a stairwell, you go up the stairs, and then you get to the platform thing, and then it turns, it goes up the next stairs, then get to the next platform, then you turn, go up the next stairs, and it just keeps doing that, right? When you're going up, if you've ever gone upstairs in a building, and I used to all the time, because it's healthier. And so when you in the going through the stages, so you're going through the steps, then there is like these plateaus, there is these like places, and everybody seems to gather there. So that is only a spot to gather. It's not a stopping place. And so that is what, there's just been so much misleading in this spirituality about, because it's like they're teaching people to not be spiritual and calling it spirituality. And I don't know. It just, especially because in my reality, in my experience, whatever you want to call it, the role, the path that I came to experience, to play out, is so much about spirituality. And so it's and it has been for my whole life. So it's been very focused on like this spiritual side of life. It's so weird. Sometimes it's like, what am I even talking about? Because I see things so different. I don't even know if people are going to understand what the fuck I'm talking about. I just feel like I'm just sit there and say this stuff over and over. But so, and this was leading to somewhere. I gotta see where it was leading to. But it was because it was you know, being spiritual through my life, and always having my guides and stuff. I can't remember now. So the and the communication and stuff. And so it's been such a strong part of mine is about the mind, body, spirit. about, you know, that coming together, and so much about the natural versus the artificial, and so much about learning to love your God-given self, your natural self. And so that's another thing that just trips me out with the spiritual movement, is it's so fucking fake and phony. And then when I see these people and they've got like white hair or pink hair or tons of makeup on, and it's like, where are you in your journey? Because when are you going to get to the part of like being more concerned about the chemicals and the toxins and what you're putting onto your skin and onto your hair and how that is affecting you and your health? And there's so much about the stuff with your hair and how it affects your crown chakra and stuff. And so there's so weird all of a sudden, like when you look around, all of a sudden you just like see eyes looking back at you or something. It's like so weird. They also over here in the Pacific Northwest, Glamham, she's this lady who watches the maps and stuff like that. And so she was looking at the storms and stuff because we have this bomb cyclone thing going. And I don't know when it hits, I guess sometime this week. And the oh yeah, because she was showing, so she was looking up in the clouds for weird things and stuff, and it was just shit ton of ships. And I heard that a long time ago. I've seen so many out here though. Even when I was sitting on the lake a couple of years ago, and it was summertime, and I was just sitting out there, just me and Stella, and there's just a few people, so I was just like sitting there looking out, and in front of me, so it'd be the little beach part, then the little lake, which is really small. Then there's some mountains and stuff. And then right above the mountains, you know, was the sky. And so I was sitting there looking like that. And then I could see. And it was one of those long ones. And around here too, that has been at the ski lifts and stuff, people see them. So it was one of those long ones, and it was going across. And just slow, and nobody's even paying any attention. It's so trippy. And you're just sitting there watching. I've watched so many ships, and nobody pays any attention. And it's just going slowly, 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 slowly. And then all of a sudden, it just goes this puff of like color. It was like pink, yellow, like this puff of color came out, and then it disappeared. And but I know how they like that stuff doesn't freak me out. That is like, it's, you know, you get to see it when it's in your reality or realm, but then it just splits into another one. And it's like a universe is more like a cavern system, a cave system. So it's more like all these different levels and realms and stuff. Like, I'm really curious once we start seeing things and stuff. Like, I don't know. I just feel like we're not, I feel like things are so different than what they, I mean, we already are knowing that. Like, that comes out over and over and over. How different that it is than what they've told us. But it still is, I just think it's way, way different. So, let me think what I was saying. So sometimes anyways, when I'm saying stuff, then I feel like it's so off from how other people have lived or think or something. So then it's like, what am I even talking about? They're not even gonna know what the fuck I'm even explaining. Because this has been boggling my mind. It's like, I don't understand how other people live. Like, that is what I would like to see. Like, I would like to for other people to explain, like, what is it that drives you? What is it that makes you think this or that or whatever it is? It just trips me out. I just don't understand it. Like, to me, it's like, there's always been a motivation. There's always been a communication. There's always been a purpose. There's always been a deeper understanding. And so, and then once you're talking to your guides and stuff all the time, I don't see how you can just like blow them off. Be like, oh, I got this. Don't you worry about it. No, usually it's like, oh, come on, you guys. Why? Oh my gosh. And Yesterday, after I finished, I started doing something. I can't even remember what it was, but it was the same fucking shit. I was like, are you motherfucking kidding me? What is with these motherfuckers? And I don't know. To me, it's like these ghosts just standing around you, just knocking shit out of your head, just sitting there talking shit. And you got to be aware of the talking shit. And I would say if you start feeling negative, they are right there on it. And then if you start feeling more negative and you're like, fuck, man, this person really pisses me the fuck off. And you start feeling like that, just figure you got a fucking bunch of dark energy. That's how it does. It's insidious. And it feeds into your anger, your resentment, or your pity, or your whatever it is. It's just like, boom, right there, feeds off of it. And then it just will go to town. And you got to notice for yourself and say, okay, this is irrational. This is some bullshit. Get the fuck out of here. And that's what I do. But I don't know. Whatever else does is I don't even understand how people, like, what is the motivation? Like, how do you, I don't know. Like, it's just tripping me out. It trips me out how everybody just keeps going and going and going. Just like nothing's happening. Just keep going mindlessly through life. When to me, it's all falling apart. The cards are falling apart. Everything is falling. And it's like, is everybody oblivious? Nobody even wants a fucking umbrella? Like you just got, like, nobody gives a shit? It's like, how bad does it have to get? Because some of us are along for this fucking ride. And it's like, come on, you guys. Like, god damn. How far do we have to go? And, but whatever it is, like, I don't know. Like over in North Carolina with that whole thing, you'd imagine that there's a lot of people awake over there. And here, because to me, even like with all the different disasters that I've seen over here on the Pacific Northwest, is it's just like as soon as one happens, it's just like, okay, let's just go back to, and everything happens to get you to look at things differently, look at your own behavior, look at life, look at situations, but it's like nobody wants to look at it. Nobody wants to think about it. Nobody wants to pay attention to things they don't like, or like I don't know. I don't understand the motivation. I seriously don't. I'm not trying to be mean. So it's like I have no idea. All I can try and do is explain like how I do things, and I just know it's different and it seems kind of odd. But I know it's odd because I was told it was odd my whole life. I was always being like, that is weird. That is not logical. That is crazy all the time. Like that was always how I was being told. Luckily, I had strong guidance though, because they were always like there for me. I didn't think I was crazy. Everybody else thought I was crazy. Everybody else thought I was strange and weird, but I didn't think I was. I always knew like I was sane. And I always saw people who were insane as being people who just lost hold of themselves. That they this place can get to you where you can't. And oh, that was yesterday too. What was that one? Because there was something happening. And then I was like, man, this is like where you can really start feeling like, do I even exist? Is this even real? I can't remember what it was, but there's definitely waves of that going. Like you have to really hold yourself into, it's like a trust of yourself. And the thing is like, you're not crazy. There's nothing wrong with you. There never was anything wrong with you. They convinced you that there was a certain standard, and you convinced yourself that you weren't meeting that standard, and you decided something was wrong with you. Now you have to amend that and let go of these concepts or these ideas that fractured your own identity of being able to, what is that? It's like a self-loving, but that is also why everything's breaking apart. It's because everybody is so much out of that. And then the world, like, the world can't, because I would say the world can't go on the way that it was. Like, it couldn't go on the way it was. It was going to crash and burn no matter what. Like, where the fuck were we headed? Like, honestly. I mean, the agenda is so fucking ridiculous. Like, nobody's staying in your same body. Just let's change out your genitalia. So we'll make sure nobody can produce naturally. We'll set up labs so we can make more of our little lab babies because we got that going. And we'll tell you that we're going to put in some sperms and some eggs in you, but there's no telling what all DNA we've got going here, you know, because this is our fun times. So it's the furthest place we want to go. And we do not want anywhere near their fucking lab baby shit. And there's so many people are just like so in the science is ahead, science, and they have fun and do this and do that. It's like so weird when you can see through it so much and you keep trying to see like, why can't they see through that? Why don't they see through it? But it's because they're not supposed to. Like, I get that part. But there's also the part of like, it's weird. It's trippy because this is really happening. And I get that there's like, that they can't see because they can't see. Nobody can understand what they don't understand. And this is all happening to influence your understanding and broaden your horizons. But it is like, it's still weird to witness of like the people, like the blue people. For one thing, how they can be so hateful and think that they're so progressive. How they can be so self-involved and think that and then get mad at everybody else for not voting the way that they wanted them to. It's like, what in the hypocrisy bullshit are you got going here? Why can't you find it? Where are your feet in your mouth so much you can't even feel them anymore? Like, what in the holy hell? And I probably, you know, when I'm over here just chatting away all day long, I'm probably got my feet in my mouth half the time anyways. Like, you guys can always tell me, like, hey, Kelly, did you realize you said this? And then you said that, like, it probably is, you know, just a part of our oblivion or something in life. I don't know. But it still is weird to watch. And I still know, like, everything is exactly what it's supposed to be. Like, there was no way for it to keep going. It was going to always burn itself out because, like, what the hell? I mean, it would be an end to creation. We're all going to be living in fucking black boxes and shit. In the wrong bodies and shit. And probably they would get so out of control, they'd just come in our houses and steal us up and steal our souls right out of our bodies. These people are fucking crazy, fucking mad scientists. And yeah, we weren't headed in a good place. No, but the thing is that time ran out. That time period is up. Oh yeah, and there was somebody. Must be in the astrology. I'm so out of the spiritual community now at this point. It's like I can't even stand to listen to the bullshit. I stopped listening to it a long time ago though. Especially when there was too much of the gender fucking bullshit that they would say, and too much of these and be a good citizen and then all of that stuff. I was like, again, where is your guidance? Like, are you really working on your spirituality? Like, what part of your spirituality are you working on? Because to me, a big part is your guidance. A big part is your influence. A big part is, you know, who you're talking to. And what are they guiding you to do? And what are you supposed to be doing here? And what's going on in the world? And what do you see in the world? I see a bunch of chemicals, a bunch of toxins. Everybody's sick. Everybody's dying. So it seems like we got to be noticing that this is what's killing us. And we got to take care of it ourselves. Because the people who pretend like they're going to help us, they're just standing around in a bunch of white coats. They're just actors. They don't even know what the fuck they're doing. They just read a script. They fucking retarded. So fuck the medical establishment. Like, fuck them. I swear to God. I can't wait for some of these things to just, these people to start falling and going down. My mom sends me a message yesterday and she's like, or a couple days ago, I don't know, I'm so lost in time. It is some about the insurance company sent her a letter and that I had some traffic thing and that they're going to have to reevaluate my price. This is where it all started. It was fucking a few years ago when I got that motherfucking ticket. But it was always going to go this way. They've been jacking up the insurance prices on everybody's because this is the corporate bullshit. This is the corporate power. And this is the bullshit that we have to keep jumping rope to. And it's like all of us have to say, no, this is some bullshit. No more. And And because I've got a loan on this car, that they keep the insurance thing. I can't even believe when I got the loan on the car. I seriously thought that they were going to crash then. I was ready to stop making the payments on the car then. I even was a couple payments behind. And I told my mom, well, it's going to crash any minute. Now it's years later. I'll probably have the motherfucking car paid off. Surely the fuck not. Surely it's about to go down. I think that that is what a lot of this, all this drama and stuff with Joe and stuff, because I still think that it has to crash under him. Yeah, but unless they're not going to do it dramatic like that, and it's just going to be like Donald's just going to have a heart-to-heart with us and tell us how bad the economy was and that we're going to go back on the gold standard. I mean, they could do it on, like, that way. It seems like everything is in a dramatic way, though, so it hits harder for the people so that they, because that's what wakes them up more. You can't just have somebody saving things for you. You can't, like in your house and you got little kids, and like I was talking about, if you're trying to police the kids so that they don't have to think for themselves, they don't have to have consequences or learn from their own mistakes. You're just in there trying to make sure that they don't have to feel any issue. They don't have to feel any meanness or whatever. And also, the bullying at school is out of control for sure. I think schools need to be closed down. Kids need to quit going to schools. But the but there's something different with the bullying, because back when we were growing up, like a long time ago, there was the regular bullying kind of stuff, like, you know, boys laughing at you, telling you're the president of the. I didn't get to be the president. So I had to be the vice president. I wasn't good enough to be the president. I was the vice president of the Bitty Titty Committee. Then, and that was by 7th or 6th grade. I think it was 7th grade. And one girl, Dana Grant, she became very endowed or whatever. She was like the first girl with boobs or something. She had giant boobs. Back in those days, boy, in whatever, 7th, 8th, 9th grade, boys really liked that. Like, and so anyways, the boob thing was already low. Yeah, you're just a itty bitty titty committee. Just go on with yourself. Like, and then plus your Amazon and then Four Eyes, Zit Face, Pizza Face, like all of those kinds of things. We were all being made fun of. And I mean, there was probably some kids that weren't, but I don't know that it really did them any good. I think it helps you. It helps you to be bullied a little bit because it builds you up, or it tears you down. It's up to you what you do with it. But I feel like a little bit of bullying, like through our ages of school ages, and then as you get kind of older and people say stuff, it's like, oh, whatever, you know, my feelings were hurt in kindergarten. Like, your stupid ass doesn't matter. Like, it kind of gives you a little bit more of a buffer so this stuff doesn't bother you, because now it's like everybody's feelings are fragile. Like the most smallest thing makes people fall apart. And it's like, and then and the bullying's just meaner. Well, plus, I mean, Jesus Christ, they'll lynch you at school nowadays. The 4th grader lynching us out. Like, what the fuck, man? It's crazy out there, which I still am like, totally could be between the medications and the frequency and stuff like that. And, what was that? Oh, yeah. Okay. Because I did want to say this. Because, so when I started painting, which I did, I think I already said I did a short this morning to show the flowers. 'Cause I really, really like them. And it was so fucking hard work. And it was killer leaning over and then plus trying to stretch way out. It would have probably been better to get a ladder and kind of climb it and then lean over maybe. But I don't know. That would have probably been hurting some other muscles. It was fucking hard. And the weird thing was, is so I start painting them, and I get them all on there at first, you know, like a rough thing. And then, so then when I started painting them, then I just lost it. I was just like, what am I doing? I don't even remember how to paint. I don't know what I'm doing. And I just, like that, just kept going in my mind. And so I'm battling this thing where I'm all of a sudden like, I forgot how to paint. And, you know, and when I did get my brain injury, because I used to paint with oil paints. And when I got my brain injury, I couldn't remember how to paint anymore. My paint, my style's different. Everything is different. But I couldn't remember how to paint. And so then I started using acrylics, and I learned how to do acrylics. But I do miss oils. I do like oils because it is like you are sculpting, kind of. Like when you are doing a face with the oils and you move the paint around and you watch this face come into existence. I think it's so cool. And acrylic is just dries way faster and stuff. I don't know. I'm sure I'll get back to eventually doing oil painting again, but for a long time I've been doing acrylic since I got my brain injury. And then I was so I'm in there and I'm doing it. I'm becoming super overwhelmed. And so this is another thing. So if you've got, because I was thinking about this, I was like, oh, this is probably where they say like somebody who's got attention deficit. This is because I see these people all the time, these videos, these people, they get overwhelmed and then they can't keep going. They have to stop. And some people like end up in bed for days or weeks. And some people they just pile up projects. They get halfway through, they start it, they never complete it. And you got to push through that. You got to push through that overwhelmed feeling because you can push through it. You don't have to be overwhelmed and stop. That's like you get up to the obstacle and then you're just like, fuck, I can't do it. I can't get over it. I can't get over it. You got to be able to tell yourself, like, I can get over this. I can get over this. So I'm having to do a lot of self-talk. And that's where it's like the dark energy just loves to feed off that. But it starts a lot of like communication, and all of that kind of battle is exhausting, where you're trying to battle this dark energy that just keeps on like pecking at you. And so that's a part too where I was thinking is I think a part of it is they're trying to exhaust you. They're trying to make you feel hopeful or hopeless, and trying to make you feel like it's, nothing matters or whatever, and that you can't do anything, you're not good enough or whatever. It's just big on that energy. And so I was painting them, and I'm sitting there going like, man, I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't remember how to paint. And then I kept seeing this video, I keep seeing on TikTok of this person, and there's whole tons of them, these people with their paintings and stuff. But there's one, they were showing their painting from the beginning to the end, but kind of fast. And I kept thinking, like, do I paint like them? Like, I don't know. How do I paint? Because they keep coming into my mind. Like, how do I normally paint? What do I normally do? Like, am I fucking merged now with this person the way they do it? Like, I don't know how they do it. I don't know how I'm going to get through it. I don't know how to paint. I forgot how to paint. Like, I really completely could not figure it out. Like, and I just keep going, keep putting more color on. And I'm like, having this battle where, fuck. And I was sitting there thinking that this is where these people lose it. This is where people are just like, fuck it. I can't do it. And stop. Because there was even a part where I was like, fuck, I should just paint the whole thing black. It looked good. I liked it. And then it's like, no, you can do this. Come on, you can do it. And it just kept going and going. And to me, everything is just keep pushing through. Just keep pushing through. Don't listen to the voices. Don't listen to your self-doubt. And when you become overwhelmed, you got to push past that. That's like a obstacle. You got to jump over it because it will hold you back. And I do know there is lots of people who get so far in their projects and then they get overwhelmed and then they put it down. But so I think there's a part in the project where you become overwhelmed and then you just got to push past it. And it was just weird because it was so much like, where I was like, fuck, I don't remember how to paint. I don't even know what I'm doing. How did I forget how to paint? It hadn't even been that long. What am I, like, I'm having this whole conversations. And then by the time I finished, it's like, oh, this just looks like my regular flowers. Like, somehow I did it. I don't know. But, so again, I did a little short video because I was like, I wanted to show the countertop. Like, I've already got the whole can of varnish on there. So there's like 3 coats of varnish on each side. And then And then today I'm going to put on the epoxy. And then I'm going to let that dry all day. But I want to really be careful about it. And then I'm going to try and do that light in the bathroom. And because I'm about done with all of the stuff in the bathroom too. There's this sealer paint stuff that I'm getting for this one wall thing that I was going to try and put this other stuff on. I'm just going to try and seal it and paint it. It's in the showers where the pipes were busted before. So I'm going to try and just fix that part. Then I found out where the water was leaking. I had no idea, too, that it was doing this because the floor was so jacked up. And the water wasn't sitting on the floor. It was just going right inside of it. And so on the faucet things, where you turn the water on, the one that's the hot water is the closest to the side of the tub that goes out. And when it's on, it shoots water out. And when the floor was all jacked, like when all the stuff was all messed up, I couldn't see that. Now that everything's all clean and stuff, and all this water is going on the floor because it has nowhere else to go, it's like, oh my God. That is so much water. Oh, every time I would take a shower, that water was shooting out because I would have the things up, but the whatever it's called, what are those things called? The curtain doesn't hold it back. And I got one of those little things to put on the side, like a little water guard thing. And yesterday when I took a shower, the water still was hitting to that, going through it. So I did a whole bunch more caulking around it. So hopefully that's going to block it in more. But I think it still goes down, runs like that, and then goes down. So I need to replace something on there where I was going to put more tape, but I can't get the thing off. The screw, I can't get the screw to undo to get the knob off to put more tape. So I'm going to have to wait until there's somebody who's stronger that can go and take it off. I could ask the neighbor guy, but I don't know. I'd rather not. I would just rather not. So I'd rather just put a towel down and deal with it until, you know, Danny comes back again or something, and then he can get the screw off, because it's too hard. Like I'm using all my strength, and then it seems like it's gonna strip the screw or something. Like I can't do that. But if you keep twisting like that and it doesn't move, the little hole thing where you put the screw in, the screwdriver thing, it jacks all this up so it won't catch. So because I've done this a zillion times, I'll just keep trying and trying and trying, and then I've jacked up the screw. So then the person comes to try and get it out, and they're like, don't do that. So I'm just going to leave it and try and do that. But I was like, oh my God, that was a lot of water. No wonder there was such a flood. The water was just shooting down there. And then, and it probably was making everything so wet and stuff. So it just is so weird because how different it feels in the house. It feels so much drier. It doesn't smell at all. And I was convinced that the smell was just a wet cabin smell. I didn't realize it was like, no, your fucking floor is rotted and it's about to fall through. I didn't know how rotted it was. And I didn't know, I just had no idea. I just knew the floor was a fucking mess and it had this rot from this leak. But I didn't know it was still doing it. I didn't know that water was shooting out because it was up against the curtain. And so I didn't notice until the water was getting all full on the floor. And then I started looking like, where's this water coming from? So anyways, that whole thing. And then here, today I'm going to do the epoxy. And then tomorrow, everything should be dry. And I should be able to put the kitchen back together. But that's why I did the short. Because then you could see the flowers. Because once I put the things back on the counter, you won't be able to see it as well. The flowers. And I like the flowers. Like, nobody has to like the flowers. It's okay. But I really liked them. And it's funny, too, is because... as this is another conversation I was having while I was doing it, is, and it's not like your guide's asking you. It's like the fucking, that energy, this dark energy shit, it just fucks with you. And, you know, oh, what kind of flowers are those? Well, they're the kind of flowers I make up. And I don't look at any reference. I just make them up. And make them up all over the place, all over the time. And just paint them the way I want to paint them. And they don't have to be real flowers. They don't have to be flowers that I look at a reference or whatever. And so whatever on that whole thing where they'll make you feel like doubt yourself or something. Like it's like You're not good enough. But you have to push past that stuff, because those voices will come in and they'll try and beat you down. They'll try and get you to question every little thing. It could be the stupidest thing. It could be like you fix your hair a certain way and you want to go somewhere and you want to do that, and then they start making you feel insecure about your hair, and they'll just keep saying stuff until the point, and you think it's your thoughts, you think it's you. It's not. It's them. It's them trying to beat you down. And once you start realizing that it's these other beings trying to beat you down, it just is different. And then how insidious when they trick you and you think it's coming from you. You think that you're doing it. I think that when the people do that, that they think it's funny, that they enjoy that or something. And there's so many people who think that all of this stuff is coming from in them. But it's kind of like tricksters, kind of, to me. Kind of like if we were playing a practical joke on somebody and they couldn't see what we were doing, that we would think it was funny. So it's not like how everybody's like so scared it's the devils and they're going to get you and all that stuff. It's not like that. It's more of like, like we can do this and it's funny. It's like practical jokes, kind of. How the same kind of sense of in the 3D world, how we do practical jokes. So it's the same kind of thing like that. Like they can just trick you and keep you just going around and around and around while they're sitting there saying stuff. So that's why I say all the time, you got to really pay attention to the voices in your head and decipher who's talking to you and what they're talking about and what it is they're trying to get you to look at, what it is they're trying to direct your energy towards. And if it's anything negative, that's the dark energy. The other is just is super, just calm. It's just like, I don't know, it always just reminds me like of a grandparent or something, of the higher mind, the wise mind, the wisdom, the wise self. And it is and it's always just this calmer, no problems. It always, when you're sitting there going through something, then all of a sudden they tell you something that gives you this insight where it's like, oh. And that's where I feel like luckily I've been able to live my life like that, of having this, where they tell you stuff as you go, because like I wasn't becoming resentful and hateful and vindictive, and even when, people would screw me over, I would know that that was about them. Like, but it would kind of weird me out, like how I would get these people around me. I'd be like, why am I always having such shitty people around me? These fucking opportunistic, liars, greedy, hateful, man. And so many people trying to get me into bed with them. Oh my God. And I'm not even just talking about men. I'm talking about so many different people. And they'll manipulate and stuff. It's just like, I don't know. I would just be like, why would I have these people around me? And for so long, when I look back, it feels like I would always think, it's just because I was a broken person. I just saw myself as very broken. And it's weird when you think of yourself as so broken, but you try and like dress yourself up so you don't look so broken. But really, that's when we play into the artificial part. We should just go out and show ourselves, show our broken self. But nobody does that. Everybody goes and, gets fixed up. I mean, there's so many girls. What was this one? Because I still see these hair things. And these girls, it just weirds me out when I see them, because it's like, fuck, I'm so far past that. I stopped coloring my hair in 2015. And so when I see them and then they are like frying their hair off, like this girl, they'll fry all their hair off. They'll go to the hairdresser, and then whatever bit of hair they have left, they still want to put more chemicals on it. It's like, oh my gosh, this is one. I just saw this girl. I mean, she had long hair. She fried it off, whatever the deal was. There's so many of these. And then she went to go get it fixed by a hairdresser. And then the hairdresser had to cut it a lot to get it up to like here. And my neighbor who bleached her hair, she had to do this all the time. She could never grow her hair past here because it would be so damaged. To bleach your hair so much really, especially for some, and especially like if you have mineral deficiency probably, but it would just fry her hair off. So every time it grow, it'd just be fried hair. So she'd have to keep getting cut. So this girl got hers cut, and as soon as it got cut, then she just put the bleach all right back on it. And then what was this one? Because it was a girl I saw, and she was, maybe it was a conversation. It was a girl showing her hair, and then in the comments or something, because this girl was saying, whatever the deal was that they were talking about, that all her hair was falling out so bad, or she had so much damage to her hair, or she hated her hair so much or something, that she's just taken to wearing wigs all the time. And I've noticed that, though, that so many people want to cover up their stuff by just putting on wigs, but your hair is trying to tell you that you've got something wrong with your health. And then when you keep damaging your hair, how can it be, how can you get a good read on it? Because it's damaged. And so it's trying to tell you, because your hair is trying to communicate. And so it can't tell you that you are unhealthy if you keep burning it off. And then plus it's your antenna anyway, so that helps with your communication and you're being able to feel the world around you. But I'm telling you right now, it is so fucking loud. To feel it is like feeling sound, feeling color. It's hearing everything so loud that you feel it. Oh my God, just dropping something in the sink is so loud. It reverberates up and it hits into my teeth and stuff. It's like, oh God, everything is so loud. It's like, how can things be so loud? So, so some of this stuff, like, you're going to feel in different ways, but the thing with these girls that just go and they fry their hair off and then they just go and hide from it. It's like, you got to do the repair. You got to take the steps. These are all the steps toward your health, not just hide your hair. Yeah, you may have fucked it up. You may have damaged it, but that's been a part of our existence. Everybody colored their hair. Everybody was putting chemicals on their hair. Everybody was under this chemical assault. Everybody was getting sicker and sicker. It was tripping me out too, because so many kids are dying. So, and so many come home from their well check and pass. And there's so much sadness with these moms. Oh my gosh, so much sadness. Oh my gosh, and there's I just saw this video. This is another thing too, where people have got to think different. This girl, she's a creator, and then she had. But I almost did this stupidest thing too, because I almost had that one girl come. And they said, yeah, you can come. So I've told some other people that they could come who are creators. And then you think like, oh, well, you kind of know them or something because they create content. But no, you don't know them. And so this girl, she has this really nice house. And she does videos. I think she does kitchen videos or something. So she let this... 2 creators come stay with her for free. She said they came and stayed for free. And I don't know for how long they stayed, but they just wrecked up all her stuff and made a big mess. And then I guess she apparently left and had to go somewhere. And they were supposed to take care of her dogs, and they didn't. They just let the dogs go to the bathroom all over the house. There's just, oh my gosh, the girl's going around showing what disaster. And she's like, these are content creators that did this. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't really know somebody. Like, people think, but it's a fake persona. Like, I'm not being fake. I'm being real. But, like, if you were around me, you would see, like, oh, this is how she really acts. I don't put on a front and then act different. I'm just weird to everybody. I don't try and pretend like I'm not weird. Like, I got over it a long time ago. Enough people call you weird. It's just like, oh, I'm weird. I don't give a shit. Like, because especially at this point in the game, now I'm just sitting here looking at, like, who's weird? Like, who's weird? Was, it's all perspective, baby. So, yeah. And so, see, what was I going to say? So, when you are looking at this stuff, the information, because everybody is somehow looking at it somehow backwards or something. They're not seeing it. And so it's holding them back. But there's going to be no choice. There's going to be no choice. The universe is going to, and then we're going to see who's really going forward and who's not, I think. Because I think it seems like there will still be these things where a bunch of people will leave. And I think it still seems like there's going to be a big thing where a bunch of people leave. I mean, it could be over here, because it's got to be something over here on the West Coast where shit's got to go down. And even with that other bomb cyclone, it didn't take out very many people. Not like that hurricane over there, not like some of these other ones in other places. So so it's just going to keep going. But something is going to get people's attention. And or something's going to be like in the Book of One and stuff, and then in these different prophecies and stuff. This, because we already have the split. But I don't know that these people are going in that direction. I think that they're going to start seeing things differently. There is another part where the energy separates. And I don't know. I don't feel like all the people who are blue are going to just go in this direction that long. I think that there's things that are going to make them think different and see things different. And that's when they're going to go into their dark night and start healing. But there still is a part where there's a separation that occurs between the people going to the age of Aquarius and the people who aren't. And that was one of the things, too, where I saw this astrologer who said, I'm so sick of all these people on the astrology saying this stuff, and let's look at the real stars and see where they're at. And they're not anywhere where they are saying. And they said that that we're not in the age of Aquarius yet. It is that it's not there. When you're looking at the planetary alignments, what has to be in alignment. And so, yeah, I didn't think we were. And so she said, I'm really sick of all you astrologers keep saying it, because we're not. You pay attention to the planets, not just, the bullshit. And so that is one thing too, is all these people keep doing this astrology over things when they're not looking at the stars. And when astrology was created, they went out and looked at the stars and stuff like that. These people are just like going off of a textbook or something. And so, yeah, however they're going to line up, eventually they will be lined up to this new existence. And it will be all of us that are in alignment with that. And the people who aren't in alignment with that will go in a separation. And it will be about their lessons and stuff. So it's not... But but I can just tell you the things that, that people need to be paying attention to. And it definitely is about healing, and about changing your perspective, and about learning how to, let's just go. Oh, no. I was like, oh, has it already been? I thought it was an hour and a half already. Oh, my God. Because I was about to, let me think, was there anything else then? Was there other things I was going to say? So the astrology, and because I know we're in the transition, we're in this opportunity to work on yourself, and once once people work on themselves and raise their vibration and stuff, then that is going into this other world that is created by the higher vibration. It's like we're actually creating the new existence by doing this work, by raising our vibration, because that becomes the world of the higher vibration. The lower vibration is burning out. It has nowhere else to go. It's like eating itself. And And it's so weird because some of the visuals is just like, I can't, like, they're super cool, but I just don't know how to explain them. But it makes so much sense when you can see them. But there is just like this changing. But how things change is, it's like a natural thing. It's not. I think people get so much in their mind about this forcing things. Everything's got to be forced. Your future has to be forced. Your vibration has to be forced. This has to be forced. Everything is so much more naturally occurring than having to force things. And it's way more about facing than forcing. Facing yourself rather than forcing things to be what you want them to be. And but everything is going to happen supernaturally. Like, it's already set inside of you. There's nothing to battle. And to me, it is way more of you becoming clear over your own role, what you're doing here, why you're here. Because some people, they may be close to being able to go home and see people that they haven't seen in a long time. They may be close to a reunion, which is very exciting. There's no reason why we should all be like sad when people are leaving. They're getting to go home, have reunions, and they're not leaving us. I don't even think they're leaving us for that long, because I think that there's going to be like a huge reunion for people once we get over to this new age. Because however it is, while we're raising our vibration, we're bringing ourselves into this higher heavenly vibration where these other beings are already in existence. So it's like the same thing as the ship goes through and disappears. It's like the people are around us, but once we get into the same vibration as them, then we can see them. But see, we're not going to do it by dying off. We are going to stay the same people. They would be, to me, when the soul is when you're in your soul thing. For those of us who like reincarnators, let's just say that, people who play this game, people who go and do reincarnation game, that you, when you go out of it, you go into the heavens, all the different people who know you from what you look like. When they see you as they know you. They don't, that's how they see you. It doesn't matter what your form is, what you look like, that's how people see you. And so it's not like they could see me as this one character or a different character. Or some of the souls, I think, see us as multiple characters because we go through a lot of different lives with certain people. Like, I like the person who I feel like I'm in contact or spiritual contact with, not physical contact. There's been no physical contact at all. It's all been spiritual or mental or something. And but to me, I feel like that is the deal with this person. Like, we've gone through a lot of lives together, and that that is kind of a part of the another level to the game, is like finding a needle in a haystack. Can you find this person in this whole giant world and still find this person? And to me, yeah, you're always going to find them because you're magnet. You have a magnetic force that's going to always pull you towards them. And it's so trippy too, because like, I know this person from when I was younger, and when I was younger and knew them, I was more judgmental towards them. There became a part of me that looked at them like they were selling themselves out. And I had no idea why I thought that. And I thought that they treated themselves like a court jester or something. And I got really irritated by them. I didn't want to see them. I didn't want anything to do with them. And it was like, and I would, at the time I would ask myself, like, why do I feel like this? This is so weird. Why am I all caught up? Like, that's so weird. Why I would feel so strong about this. But I was not expecting, decades later, all of a sudden for them to show back up and be like, it was just like this light all of a sudden, where it was just this draw in my soul of like, oh, I know you. And then it started making sense. No wonder I was being judgmental towards you. It's like, because it's definitely where I was in my life, was, it's trippy when you spend your life learning and growing and healing and stuff like that, is how you can see it. And it does go through a lot of stages and a lot of different healing things, because, I mean, I was having to heal little things the whole time. This has been like the bigger healing thing, but I was healing things the whole time because I always had my guides. I always had this balance, counterbalance, this communication. And so when something would happen, somebody would screw me over, somebody would rip me off, somebody would, man, there's so many people like that would come into my life, and that would fuck me over. And I would be like, sad, especially like if it was a friend, somebody I thought was a friend. And I would be sad. In some cases, I would try and figure out, like, how do I handle this? What do I do? And stand up for myself. Do I do this? Do I do that? So go through the thing. But everything you go through, like, you have a conference. You have people who were there helping you through it. And they're not going to just tell you, yeah, do that. That's what's going to work. You think, well, what if I do that? Try it. See. And then you do it. And then you see. And then it's like, because everything is about the lessons. Everything is about what you learn. Everything is about these things happening. So you have that. And they're not going to stop you. They're not going to stop you from learning your lessons. They're not going to say, oh, that's not going to do you any good. Fuck that. Don't do it. No, you're going to go in and do it, and you're going to see, and you're going to learn. You just have them there for you. But that is, like, to me, for a long, long time, ever since I was younger, I'd be like, oh, it must have been something I did in a past life. And so I wouldn't be, I would always think it was like this balancing. The universe is putting itself back into balance. I wasn't going to go into another reaction and react to that and then have myself still in this spiritual entanglement with this person. I was like, nope, I'm not going to go into this vindictive, I'll get even with you, I'll fuck you over. Like, no, fuck that. Like, they fucked me over, well, let's cut ties. Let's just, like, I'm not going to stay in this entanglement with this person. I got to let it go. The universe has got my back. The universe has got it. If something needs to be done, the universe will take care of it. I'm just going the other direction. And so there was a lot of that, not just like cutting people out of my life, like, because I know that's a big thing in this world, is cut everybody out of your life. But it was like, I'm not gonna, when you see through somebody, then it gives you more parameters, kind of. Like, you're not going to be so close to that person. You're not going to be so friendly. You're certainly not going to, like, let them borrow money or give them a place to stay or something. So, anyways, but there's people who get really mad and try and get even and do things to fuck people back over. And there's just so much in this life or people are just trying to fuck people over and get ahead, like, trying to do things, not get caught, trying to, I don't know, use the dark energy. So many people, like, use the dark energy where it's to the point where it's like, there's a lot of souls that obviously came here for that experience. So you can't sit here and say, like, oh, that's wrong. That's wrong. And, to experience your dark side is to experience your dark side. And so, yeah, we can't sit there and go like, oh, well, you're a dark being and you have no right to experience your dark side. And then you got to remember too, is all these people are come into your life for your benefit, for you to grow, for you to heal. So it's not about them really, even though they're the ones coming in, like, borrow $500 and then you pay next week and then tell you, like, no, I'm not giving you shit or whatever the fuck it is, that it's about them. And so they have to, there's gonna be things they have to face, and then karma will come back. Like, you do something like that, like you just intentionally fuck somebody over just because you just want to, then that energy is going to follow you. You're going to have where you're going to try and do things, it's going to fall apart. People are going to fuck you over. The experience will come back to hit you from the other direction. And that's a good thing because it helps you to see so you don't keep being that kind of person. But, you know, there's a lot of people out there who are that kind of a person. And I think that a lot of people, even when that stuff happens, that they, you know, fuck God, fuck the universe, they're just caught up in this 3D world. So weird. It's just there's so many people that's caught up in this 3D fake phony ass world. It's so fucking fake and phony. That is gonna be, to me, that is gonna be such a big thing when the lights come on. Is there's gonna be so many people that are gonna feel so exposed for being so fake and so phony. It's gonna be really cringe. And people don't realize it yet, like how cringe it's gonna feel when they realize, like, oh God, I'm so fake, I'm so funny. There's gonna be people that are gonna try and hide from it. And you can't hide from things, and it's not, there's no reason. Don't hide from who you were. It'd be like me sitting here saying, well, I was always conservative. Yeah, I was always conservative. No, I'm gonna fucking say, I'm 45 years. Like from the time, my very first time I could vote, it was like, when I turned 18, it was an actual vote. And it seems like it was Carter. It seems like I was for Jimmy Carter. And I wanted to go out and vote. I know I voted for Jimmy Carter. And that's when I decided to be a Democrat. And I was a Democrat because my grandpa was a Democrat. And my grandpa, the hardworking grandpa, was the other grandpa that was like selling his land and stuff. He wasn't, he was the rich grandpa, and he was a Republican. And so my other grandpa was the Democrat. And so then I was like, well, I'm going to be like grandpa and be a Democrat because I'm for the people. I'm for the hardworking people. And that is where so many of us got sucked into that. And we thought, like, this is the ones for the poor man. This is the ones for the people. But there was a whole agenda where even to the point where they were trying to keep people poor, keep people under their thumb, keep you from developing. They want us to not develop, not be able to take care of ourselves, not think for ourselves, not be able to feed ourselves, not have any good relationships. And they want us to just be like basket cases under their control, because then we're weak and we're easily told what to do. When you don't feel good about yourself, you don't want to take up much space. When you feel good about yourself, you'll take up a lot of fucking space. And somebody comes in and fucking tells you, you're going to say, no, I'm not doing that. No, And because you deserve your space. When you don't feel good about yourself, you don't feel like you deserve any space. You feel like you're a blemish on society that you need to hide, that you're hideous, that you're a creature. And that is all programming. That is all creation of self-doubt, of self-loathing, that they were able to get you to start hating yourself so much. That's their accomplishment. And that's where you've got to fight back on the system. And you got to fight back and fight through and get back to the person that you love, the person that you want to adore, the person who you feel like you truly are on the inside, the person who, when people are doing shitty things and you think like, oh, but I'm a good person. Why don't you see I'm a good person? Because you're a good person. I mean, this world, it makes it such a clusterfuck that it's hard for you to put your good person part of you out there. But this is a time for you to tame the fucking energy, and for you to just take a step towards you, and to keep focusing on putting your best person out there and not feeling like you have to get even with everybody. Turn the other cheek. It doesn't fucking matter. They're not going to get away with shit. The universe is way more powerful than what you can do. The little bullshit that you do is just going to keep you in an entanglement. So the universe will come in and show them who's boss, who means business. And if they don't, then and it can be the long game. Don't sit there and think, well, I'm going to sit here for a week and I'm going to watch, and if nothing happens, then that's bullshit. No, It can be the long game. It can come in a year or two later. It's going to come in when it's going to hurt them. It's not going to be just like immediately. It's going to be when it's going to fucking matter. And so the universe, like I said, it has the long game. And we're all really playing with the universe. Like that person is also dependent on that playing out that way. Because they're there to learn from their own mistakes. Even though in this world, it seems like nobody's here to learn from their mistakes. They're all just here to fuck each other over. But no, in soul world, when you get over there, then it is different kind of lesson plan. And the more you can get into the lesson plan and be, it's more efficient if you know what the fuck you're doing here. Instead of just, you know, getting wigs and putting on makeup and hiding from yourself and being vindictive and trying to do this because this person said or whatever. It's like people are just living in such an extraordinary way. It's not like, it's not typical. It's not like healthy. And so anyways, now it's only been 15 minutes. Oh my God, what in the fuck with time? And out the corner of my eye, I keep seeing where it says like 1:30. It's like, so it's, okay. This is just like the strangest thing. The strangest thing with time, with everything. Everything just seems so weird. And the way time just goes so slow and fast at the same time. Because I don't understand how it's already Christmas again. And I swear to God, we just had Christmas. I mean, it's just like, man, they just keep us going as fast as they can through their motherfucking holidays. Here's another one. Go buy a bunch of shit. And everybody just accommodates. Just go buys a bunch of shit that we don't need. Even though the trash fucking dumps are all full. And everything is like a... So, whatever is... whatever is going to go down is going to go down. And I don't know. There's weather things going. There's political things going. There's... I don't know. It's just like everything is falling apart. And if the person's life isn't actively falling apart, they're oblivious. But the people whose lives are falling apart are in a whole nother reality. There's like all these different realities still playing out. Because it isn't, like, I'm definitely, there's not a lot of people. Like, I don't interact with anybody who's in my reality. I have to keep going into other people's realities. It's not, nobody's in my reality around here. And, so, I don't know. There's still all these different realities playing out. And the weather's weird. The air's weird. Now, the fucking worms in the goddamn water. And why they put in bleach in the water? Is it going to make more worms? Like, why they have the bleach in the water? Because I've had the bleach in the water out here before, too. And and I still, it boggles my mind. How is it that we all have worms in all the water when we're all in different water districts? Even over here, what I tried to argue with this lady, when I said about our water, if it's the sewage, because it's always water and sewage. If it's the sewage, it just goes through the sewage thing. And she's like, oh, no, it's a well. All our water's from a well. We paid $200 a fucking, $100 a month for motherfucking water. It's ridiculous. And then, what are you doing with the sewage then? Where's the sewage going? I swear to God, I still think there's something. It freaked me out when I was in Spokane and I found out that that's what they did with the water. Because I thought that all the water came from wells underneath. I thought all of our water came from fresh, clean sources. And then when I found out that they have sewage plants where they take all the sewage that we flush down the fucking toilet or goes down our drain in our shower or our sink, and they take that water and they put it through a stage of machinery and to clear out the waste products. Then they put a bunch of chemicals in it and then put it back in for us to drink. And then they started saying, well, it's a problem now because of all these people with all their medications and all their sicknesses. It's not, we can't clean that out. Okay, so I would rather be in charge of my own water than have you guys do it, because you guys don't know what the fuck you're doing with anything. You don't know how to do food. You don't know how to do water. You don't know how to do health. You don't know how to do government. Everything is just this bullshit. It's not, it's all just, it's for them. It's like, it's their party. And we're just the guests. And it's like, that's no way to live. Because I was birthed into this party. This is my motherfucking party. And I'm not your guest, bitch. And so that's where we all have to get to that place of taking our own stand in our sovereignty. It's like, I'm not at your party, bitch. I'm at my own. And I'm going to fucking fix it the way I want it fixed. And I'm so fucking over their goddamn fucking food and shit. And, what was that? I'm sorry. I'm so over their food as my stomach's growling. I'm thinking, what am I going to eat next? And my kitchen's so jacked up. I haven't been able to cook any cookies. Today I might try and cook cookies in the thing. So I have some tomorrow because I'm not going to have the kitchen. It's going to have to dry. I think once I put the epoxy on, I probably should leave it for 24 hours. Probably just put the kitchen back tomorrow morning. And then I'll start cooking more normal again. But yeah, now my stomach's growling. I'm like, well, I got graham crackers. Yesterday I was eating peanut butter crackers. Then I did end up, after I got enough stuff cleared, I made a grilled bagel. So I feel like I'm hungry, like I need some kind of fucking nutrition or something. And then plus I've just been working. And it just goes all day. The only interruptions are the dogs constantly interrupting me. But still, though, she's doing so much better. So that makes me so glad. And I'm keeping her off of that water now. I feel certain that that has something to do with her health. So I'm going to keep going with that. But definitely she's going to keep having the pains in her hips, the more active when she goes out and she's running around and jumping. And then, and I don't know what to do about that. And that DMSO, I put that on my sore 2 or 3 times. This is almost gone now. So, yeah, I'm going to keep putting it on Stella's too. And I'm going to put it on this again still. But, yeah, that shit. And it was Cheryl who said something. Have you tried the DMSO? And so I went in to go look and see what it was. And there's a lot of information. I was like, oh, this is one of those things, like, you gotta, like, there's a lot of information. But apparently it's been working for, like, different kind of melanomas and stuff like that. Like, it's something good for skin, CA. And so, yeah, it's made that thing. Like, it's barely even anything right now. It's like a little crusty thing. Like, it feels like a crusty thing, but it will get really super dried out and I'll have to put a bunch of oil and stuff and it will start hurting. So I'm just going to keep doing that and keep trying to kill all this little bugs and shit that are living around in there. And also when everything gets out of sync and I get anything off, so I haven't been doing my black seed oil every day, and right away I can tell my eyes start getting more filmy and stuff. So I'm gonna, the black seed oil I definitely think is helping with my eyes and drying up whatever mucus. And mucus goes to everywhere where there's something going wrong. So it's like mucus is like it's like your, what is that? It's like, like the words that I'm hearing, it doesn't, like, no, it's, like a buffer. I keep hearing buffer. So it's like a buffer in your system. So, you know, say like your throat's really raw and dry and stuff. So the mucus would go in to coat it and try and heal it or whatever. So the mucus is like, it's something your body uses to take care of itself. And but it also shows where there's something that needs to protect itself from. So I'm not surprised at all that there would be a lot of mucus that would keep going up in this area. And especially even when you go back to the point of the wisdom teeth and the mercury and stuff, I think that a lot of us have like these infections. Doesn't just have to be with your eyes, like my eyes got attacked, but it is also the I think just the people. just regular people who have had any kind of dental work and stuff. Supposedly, everybody who's got any kind of root canal, and that's why they had to take these teeth out over here. This guy who did these 3 root canals over here, he jacked up all these teeth, who created all these infections, broke the teeth. Like, I didn't even know there was dental malpractice until this guy came in. And so when they oh yeah, because there was one of them, he had done a root canal, and then he was in there, they'd stick those little things in there and dig around, whatever, these little twirly things, and go in there and swirl them around and get all the root out. This stuff is so barbaric. It's so fucking bullshit, man. Where did they ever even come up with this shit? So they, so whatever this guy did, he broke the tool off in one of the teeth. He broke it off and then just sealed it. Left the tool broken inside my tooth. So it became this whole infection. And then that one had to be removed. And what was I going to say? Something with the infection. Because from what I have heard now is that anybody who has any kind of root canals, they all have some kind of an infection in them. Every single person's root canals have an infection in them. Because I guess because the pockets of whatever it is that they do. So we all have fucking bullshit. Like, I have a ton of fucking bullshit in my teeth. My wisdom teeth were taken out. I have mercury. Even in this one where that's trying to, I have 2 where the mercury is like, but I know that like the healing machines and stuff, that will grow teeth back and stuff. So, and when I did have implants, my body rejected them because I did have implants. And my body rejected them, and it gave me nerve damage in my face. And every medical thing that I've ever done is blown up into bullshit. Like, because that's not the direction we're supposed to go. And no matter how many times you keep going towards it, it's going to blow up because we're not supposed to go that way. We're supposed to go a different way. And they're going to keep convincing you that you're going in the right way, and it's just not working. But no, because we're going in the wrong way. And so, I think a lot of people have a lot of infection and mucus and stuff like that, and they don't even know. And then they keep hitting us with toxins, and that creates more mucus. And so anyways, the black seed oil does be effective with the drying up the mucus. And I can see much better when I do that 2 or 3 times a day. So I'm going to get back on top of that. And, but it's crazy. Like, when you don't do it for a couple days, and it's like, oh my gosh, right away, it starts being, my eyes start feeling like more harder to see or something. So anyways, now I'm going to stop because I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. I feel like I'm just rambling. I feel like I don't even know how to explain, like, because I don't know what it is that people focus on. I don't know what drives and motivates them, that keeps them away from this other way of living. But I'm telling you, this other way of living is real. You really do have guidance. You really do have beings around you. There really is a purpose to life. The bad things are really good things. And I don't know, because even like to me, having gratitude what was it? It was something this morning. It was something, I don't remember. And then I was like, yeah, see, that's not even something I would have thought about. Just thanks so much. Even the paint color, all of these different things. It's just like, just to have gratitude. Well, now I feel like I have like this whole new kitchen. It all came from this bathroom thing. When my son-in-law messaged me that day and said, okay, I'm coming Friday, it stressed me the fuck out. I was like, oh shit. I already had it in my mind that he was going to come in the spring, not come right now. And now it's like, oh, I got all this shit I got to figure out. And the weather was going to be bad. And I was like, I don't know how we're going to do the roof. Like, that just seems crazy to take that roof off in the rain. It will never dry out. And I've seen enough of these inspectors and stuff saying that's a problem with all these new houses. They build them and then they are sealing in the wetness. And all these people are having mildew and mold in their houses. And so I had all this different stuff on my mind. And then when he came, And then I was like, well, let me show you the bathroom. That's what I think we need to work on, because I think it's going to fall through. And then he went in and he started looking and he goes, man, I think you're right. I definitely think we need to do the bathroom. And so, however that went, and then we started going towards that. So we had to go get all the supplies. So I had to have the money for that, because I had been getting other things I needed because I thought he wasn't coming for the winter. And so then he came, and we went to the store and got that stuff. And then the decorating stuff I got, because I wanted to paint the walls, because the walls were so yucked. And they were just like, I don't know if they'd ever been painted. It was like, he's like, clean the walls. And I was like, I did. This is what they look like. And so they needed to be painted. It was like the paint had worn off, or so. I don't even know how to explain it. It was just weird. But I kept thinking I was going to redo the whole bathroom. So anyways, I was redoing the whole bathroom. It just was different than what I thought. And so when I went and I got the paint, and then how much I loved it, and then it started this whole project. Because when I did that one, I wouldn't have started this one if I didn't love that paint so much and think, oh, I want to do these cabinets. And once I did the cabinets, then I was like, oh, I got to do the countertop. And then once I did the countertop, and then it's all of a sudden, it's like, it's so weird, because this kitchen and this bathroom is so much more in alignment with who I am now than who I was before. It's weird. It's weird. It's like, just in the time I've lived here, I feel like I've grown so much. And then I feel like kind of like the house even represents my growth. And anyways, but, feeling gratitude, like, thanks for the direction. Thanks for the paint. Thanks for the color scheme, and how much I like it. But then when you show the things you like, it always registers. So you'll always get back the things you like, but you got to register it. You got to show them what it is that you like. So anyways, that's the way that you can live. Like, or you can live in the struggle of trying to whatever make it in this world. But I don't know. I just would start going back in circles again. So anyways, I'm too tired. I don't want to. And whatever I've said is what I've said. So just remember, what you're doing here is learning how to love yourself, love everyone, and how to have a loving day, because it's just totally up to you. So anyways, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Hopefully I'll make more sense. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.